Have you ever asked yourself the questions, why do I feel this way now? Why are my emotions making me act this way now? Why am I feeling this way after all of this time? Okay, now the root of the problem that happened that is making you feel this way, your body is ready to work through that problem, ready to work through the emotions that you tucked away during that problem, during that incident, whatever happened, is that you are ready to work through those problems, which means these emotions are coming back up. Okay, they're starting to seep out. So what do I mean by seep out? So I'm gonna use myself as a personal example. Okay, we'll make this quick. I've been going to therapy for about 2 years now. Okay, my therapist said it like this: anytime I would shove my emotions down or I'd hide them from anybody, whether it be my relationship, parents, friends, whatever, I'd shove them down into the shoebox, and the shoebox would go on a shelf, and I wouldn't even touch that shelf until that box started to seep, until it started to open. So what is seeping out are your emotions. They're starting to amplify because you are in a healthier spot in life. You're in a safer spot in life, that you are ready to work through these emotions. You are ready to work through this problem that you tucked away after all this time. The problem that happened a week ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, years ago, that problem that you haven't worked through, those emotions that you haven't processed yet, they're starting to come back up and they're starting to seep out of that shoebox, and they are starting to affect your daily life because it is time. If you tuck anything away for so long, anything, right? It's going to start to fester. It's going to start to mold, right? I mean, that's why things have an expiration date. Things start to mold. They get gross. They get amplified. They get stinky, right? That's your problem. That's that problem coming back up because it's time for you to work through that problem. It's time for you to grow and elevate, right? That is what is happening, is that these emotions are coming back with a vengeance. Now that we have identified the problem, we figured out what's going on, we figured out why these things are coming back up. What happens if we don't? What happens if we just leave it alone? What happens if we don't touch it, right? We don't touch those shoe boxes because we're scared of what we might find. We're scared of how we actually felt. What we're afraid to actually reach out to the person that made us feel this way, right? What happens if we don't do any of that? So what's going to happen is that you're going to start to repeat a cycle, which means you're going to come back to this point eventually. So you're going to continue to shove things down. You're going to continue to not work through your problems. You're going to continue to ignore your ignore yourself in a way, ignore your growth, ignore your potential, that eventually you're going to come back to the same crossroad. um, and you're going to keep doing that until you're ready to work through those problems, right? But again, at that time, because like you've done a full cycle, you keep coming back to this point, you're going to have more crap to deal with, right? You're going to have more stuff that's on your plate at this point. So that's what's going to happen. Is it's just going to keep happening. Like you're going to continue to your emotions are going to continue to come back up until, right? Like it's not it just doesn't go away. Like it's not how that works. Like we are humans. We have emotions. But if you continue to ignore them, they're going to come back with a vengeance. What happens when we do decide to work through these things? What happens when we do decide to try and grow and figure out or work through these problems? I can tell you it's scary. It's really scary because you find out things you didn't really know about yourself. You find out things you may have never known about yourself, or the conflict, or about the other person that the conflict was with, right? You're going to find out things. You're going to grow. You're going to it's almost like being forced to grow because you have to figure out why you felt this way. And then you're going to work through that shoebox one at a time. And there's probably a lot down there. So it's going to take time. It's not just a one and done kind of thing. Like these emotions are going to keep coming back, especially if you're in a safe space, a safe place, a safe environment, safe job. Like it's a never ending thing, but you learn to grow, you learn to regulate your emotions. This is where emotional maturity comes in. Everything happens for you, and it eventually you come out on top. You learn to see the world through a different perspective. And all this started was because you got emotional. But that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment. Let me know how I did. Let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.